What's up guys, welcome back to another DK Guys video. Today it's only me because DKB is busy sleeping, so let's start with the Reddit videos. Let's go, woo! Percentage of people that were unable to keep home adequately warm in Europe in 2022. We see that Northern Europe didn't have a lot of problems with it, apart from Lithuania. Lithuania has a high 17.5% percentage. It definitely goes higher as you go more south Europe, especially with Spain, Portugal, Greece, Bulgaria. So I mean, it makes sense because these hot Mediterranean countries are used to hot weather, so cold winters, they're not really used to it, so they're not well prepared. At least the colder countries up in the north could mostly deal with the winter. A proposal to divide the US along watersheds following a suggestion by J.W. Powell. Better or worse? I can see, well, I can't really make too many comments because I'm not even an American, but I can see Texas has been divided a lot. Look at Oklahoma and New Mexico, those borders are crazy. Oklahoma definitely became super big. And then California maintained its size. They've even gotten a little bit bigger on the Mexican border, but lost a tiny bit to Nevada. I think California's a big winner here. Florida seems to have kept most of their borders. Georgia's eaten some of the north. I don't mind this. This looks more natural, but yeah, it's also too unnatural. Like, I don't know. Look at Tennessee, for example. Look at those borders. Oh, and the East Coast is very messy. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. This looks very European, like HRE like. We got quite an old map here. So metropolitan areas of Europe in 2011. So I'm not surprised Germany has the most compared to their size, and then the lowlands, Netherlands and Belgium has a lot. I can see, yeah, UK and France has in their metropolitan areas, you see London and Paris. Although a lot of Paris is orange rather than red, because I'm guessing Paris is very small then compared to the amount of people living. I think in terms of red areas, the UK, Sweden and Netherlands seem to have the most. France has a lot of dots like in between their lands, but nothing too big. The biggest is Paris, but most of it is orange commuting zones. Whereas Germany is crazy. Especially look at their north and also the Rhine area. It's just all commuting zones. Very little participating countries, the green area. And you can see Romania has very little, Greece has very little. Bulgaria has surprisingly more than I thought, especially compared to their neighbors with Romania and Greece. Czechia has a good amount and Poland has a good amount. Latvia and Lithuania are very empty. Norway is also very empty. I can see with Spain as well, it's quite empty. For a country that size, it's like multiple dots like France, but even less. It's a very empty country with a few big cities. So this map shows black people's percentage in Americas. You can see with the US, it definitely has links with the slave trade. You can see how there is more in the south, but also overall more in the east coast, and a lot less in the west coast. I can see also a significant amount in Brazil, and that's Uruguay, blue there. A lot in Colombia, and that's Suriname I think, and Guyana. Oh, also zoomed in, you can see Haiti, yeah, there's a majority black population there. A lot of the Caribbean has black people. Cuba is one of the exceptions, has less black people. And you can see in the US, I think they zoomed in on Maryland, also has a lot more black people. Right next to, I think that's West Virginia, which has not a lot. Yeah, this is very interesting. You can see in Bolivia, Argentina and Chile, there's barely any. Chile and Argentina because a lot of Europeans have immigrated there from what I know. Bolivia is just a very isolated country, so not a lot of black immigration there. Very interesting. Hey, this is every American metro area with a population over 1 million overlapped with a highway map. Okay, so it makes sense the East Coast has a lot more population centers. With the West Coast, it's basically California and then Portland and Seattle. Midlands has barely, has barely any. I'm trying to think what these two population centers are, the red and the purple. I think that's Salt Lake City, the red. Purple, I have no clue. Please tell me in the comment section. I need to know more about America's geography. That red is crazy in the East Coast of New York. You can see. And then right below it, lots of other big cities like Boston, Washington, or Philadelphia. A few others I can't remember. But yeah, there's a lot there. So apparently this is the current state of recreational cannabis legalization in the USA version 2, which is up to date, well, September 10th, 2023. I think there is a clear division between Republican states and Democrat states, really. And especially with those that have big population centers and less and more countryside kind of states. But yeah, not much to say here. Alaska I'm surprised about, actually. That's yeah, Alaska and Hawaii are outliers. That's very interesting. I thought it'd be the opposite. Alaska doesn't have it legalized, but Hawaii does. Let me know in the comment section for why, because I want to know more about that. The US in 1491, before Columbus arrived, is very empty, with a few tribes. And yeah, no centralized states. So this is 1491. A lot of tribes in Florida. And what's that big purple one in the north? Piscataway. Iroquois, I know them because of EU4. Huron, because of EU4, I know them, that's the Canadian areas. Yeah, most of the civilizations, or at least more advanced tribal units in the US were on the East Coast. And less advanced ones, they're just names out there. You can also see how the US cities were built, also looking at this map. You can see the Midwest is very empty. You can see the West Coast that has a lot of tribes, especially in the California area, and the East Coast has very advanced tribes as well, so it makes sense about America's geography. So these are all the towns that were in the vicinity of earthquake in Morocco. You can see up in the north here is Marrakesh. And the largest circle, the biggest one, I think, is within 50 kilometers. Look at all those red small circles are towns within the vicinity of the earthquake. Wow, it must have been a huge hit. You can see. And it's even, yeah, within 50 kilometers, Marrakesh is in it too, so it must have been a big damage, significant amount. Okay. Not many people know this, but I like this. So basically, a small part of Kazakhstan, many people argue, is in Europe, and it's bigger than many Balkan countries. It's basically this light blue area of Kazakhstan, and that is because it's west of the Ural Mountains and also I think west of some river. But yeah, geographers count this as part of Europe. You can see how big of a land that is, but it's mostly empty lands. I think it's deserts. And very little people live there compared to European population density. Yeah, look at it compared to Greece's size. Wow. It's fucking crazy. There's a map of European forests. You can see very natural borders here and also historical borders with these forests. I think mountains, rivers and forests are a good way to show old historical borders and some modern borders as well. You can see old Hungarian borders, Czechoslovakia's current borders. You can see the Caucasus, Russia's borders with Georgia and Azerbaijan. It's crazy, and France's borders with Spain. Northern Italy has no forests. That's very interesting. Very empty. And so does Anatolia in Turkey. And as I said before with the Kazakhstan map, you can see there are no forests. It's mostly deserts, as I said. Denmark has very little. Thought there'd be more. I've been to Germany, as you guys are gonna see in the previous video, and yeah, there are a lot of forests in Germany, and it's beautiful, the countryside. I wish I could have seen more, but I didn't have time. Especially compared to the UK, because the UK is mostly fields, just open areas. There aren't many forests. Then Germany, going there, it was like, wow, so many forests. Yeah, you can see natural borders between France and Germany. Netherlands and Belgium doesn't have a lot. And of course, Scandinavia has a lot of forestry, except in the super high mountains areas in Norway.